Hi, I'm Clement Townsend. The purpose of this video is to have an example for your students to create their own video solving a problem. Instead of a worksheet, this will allow students to show what they know in a way that is relevant to them and teaches them 21st century skills.
This video is on finding surface area of rectangular prisms.
After the example video for students, I'll give step-by-step instructions on how they can create their own video using Canva. This student-centered activity will be a game changer in the classroom. Let's get started.
So let's get started with creating your math video. Once you are on Canva, your screen should look something like this, and we're just going to look for video. That should be front and center, and we're going to actually click on video. We're going to create a blank video. We're going to get started with our title slide. So the first thing we're going to do is, on the left side, they have elements, text, uploads. They have some templates. This is the search bar, which we're going to use pretty frequently. So please take note of the search bar. Here's where we will play and watch our video and see it. There's a play button here, a play button to the bottom left. And I like to call this the timeline. This is where you're going to actually put your clips to create your video. So we're going to start off on the left side on elements. We're going to start off elements. And then when I put in, when I click on elements, background pops up for me. It might not pop up for you, but we'll just do background. We're just looking for a plain background. Normally when we're doing videos, we always want to be on video, but here we'll click photos and it gives you a lot of different options. So just look at the one you like. When you find one that you like, I'm just going to grab one up at the top. You're going to drag that over into the plus sign. So there you have it. Now you have a background, and we're just going to easily do text. So here is how you do text. You click the text button. It has add a heading, subheading. These all show you different sizes. You click that one time and it pops up, and then you can just type in it. Certainly delete what's in there. And we are doing surface area. So surface area, like to put your name by John Doe and maybe the period. Once you have that, there are a couple of things that you can do. I'm just clicking on the text box and I can move it around. And also I can move it up. So when I get four arrows here allows me to move it up. Certainly there are a lot of different things you could do. You can stretch it out. So keep in mind these different things you can do with text. Certainly I could highlight all this. And here's how I change my color, text color. If for some reason you wanted it to be purple, you could do purple, but I'm going to go back to black. Here's how you change your sizes. You would have to highlight and change your size. And then here's how you change your font. And since we're doing surface area, we want to go back to elements and we want to take out of the background. And we're going to put in like rectangular prism. Because that's what we'll be doing. So we want graphics here. So you can click on graphics there, or you could click on see all. And we'll just put a few prisms, whichever prism you like. See what different prisms they have. Again, this is just your title slide. You can certainly move them around, but we're looking for like rectangular prisms. And when you grab the side, that can make it smaller. You grab the side, that can make it smaller. You grab the side, that can make it smaller. So there you have it. Surface area by John Doe, third period. And that is your title slide. Once you have that, you can just go ahead and duplicate what you have. you can go ahead and duplicate your page. That'll make things easier so you can keep your background. So we could delete that part. And then we actually could keep our text here because we just want to write down what is surface area. And you would just write in, and certainly you know how to already do text. We know what surface area is, the equation, 2 times length times width. And then you would just do this for all the rest of it. 2 times length times width times height. And you would just clean that up, make sure that everything lines up there. You can obviously move the text around in the box and things of that nature. Make the box smaller or bigger, but it's important to know, okay, how do you actually figure out the area? And then let's go ahead and get a rectangular prism here. So say for instance, if we want this one, let's just go ahead and get a rectangular prism. And then once you have written down with text what area is, it's time to go ahead and solve, put some numbers down, and go ahead and finish out the problem. So again, as we showed you before, duplicate. You already know how to add text and you already know how to duplicate. So now it's just time to put in the numbers for the problem. And again, we'll just do add subheading right here. And then we can also duplicate, or you could add other ones, whichever one you please. We can put it here and then on the side and then add subheading. So these are just going to go all on the side. I want to move my box. I can just move my box, the whole thing. And again, we want to make this smaller. So we can just move this in to make it smaller, or we can grab the side to make it smaller, either way. But we've already shown you how to make things smaller. And then we just want to go ahead and put the numbers here. 4. Again, I can move this down. This would be 13. So again, you're just adding text. What are the actual numbers that go along with the length and the width and the height for the problem that you are solving? 6. And then we've shown you this here is highlighted, is how you turn that on the side. So you can turn that, keep turning it on the side. We can move it closer. We can turn it on the side a little bit more. And then move it closer. And then also we could move this box over, One thing that we haven't shown you is, say for instance, you want an arrow to point to this right here, to point to your 4 centimeters. Again, that's in elements. And then you take off rectangular prism. And then you just type in arrow. So anytime you need something, just type in and then hit your enter button. And then there are a lot of different arrows, photos, graphics, lines, and shapes. You can take an arrow from anywhere. It just pops up. Here it is. And then I always typically like to change the thickness. It's just giving me a line. I'm going up to line style. I'm going to change my line weight and it gets thicker. And then again, we can just move it in and turn around. And then we're going to move it in a little bit more and then place it where it needs to go on the box right there, 4 centimeters. And now it will just be time to solve. So one thing that I do want to actually show you is timing. So I'm going to do a couple of these. 2 times length times width. So that would be 13 times 4 equals 72. And then of course, 52, 52. And 52 times 4 equals 104. And then I just want to go ahead and duplicate this box. Duplicate here, and then L times H. This will be the 13 times 6 equals 78. And 78 times 2 is 156. Here's the main thing I want to show you. I want to show you timing. This is something new, something pretty cool. So here, when I have my box here and I click on it and it brings up my three dots, show timing. So now this allows my problem part that I solve to only extend a little bit. So maybe I only wanted 3 seconds. So I'm grabbing the handle and I'm making it 3 seconds. And I want to make my whole clip maybe a little bit longer. So my whole clip might be 6 seconds. So the first one is in for the first 3 seconds. Then I want to touch the second one and maybe I move it down. And then the second one, I don't want the second one in at the beginning. I want the second one to come towards a little bit at the end. And then now, once I look at my timing, we have the area length times width. That one goes out and the other one comes in. They could overlap a little bit, or I could drag it so they don't overlap. It goes one to the next. Area length times width, length times height. And then you want to add width times height. So you'll want to duplicate this and then do width times height. And then you'll want to add them all together. You'll want to make sure that you add your length times width, add your length times height, and add your width times height. And then I would say put that one up at the top and you can do the timing with that. And then that should be the final answer. The final piece is putting an end to your video. But before that, I do want to make sure that you are able to add in all of your parts to your problem, to the area, length times width, length times height, width times height, and then the final piece. And did they all come in at different times? Did they overlap? So you were supposed to add the final two and make sure that they all came in. If you had any issues, again, click on your problem, your text, click the 3 dots and then show timing and make sure that they don't overlap each other. Make sure that your timing here is by itself and then go there and make sure your timing there is by itself. So if they seem to be overlapping and they don't go out and go in, maybe you need to adjust the end to make it shorter, or maybe you need to adjust this part, or maybe you need to, again, go to the next one and then adjust that one. So that's how you make sure that your timing is all right. Once you do that, it's time to celebrate. It's time to add something at the end. So what I would do is, well, first, you can't duplicate. I want to duplicate, so I need to go back and hide timing now. I want to hide timing so I can duplicate. I want to actually duplicate this second page, and I want it to go to the end. So I'll move it after my other video. Sometimes the dragging is different. There we go. Move it to the end. And I just want to have delete my same background. So once I have a clean background, I already have celebration here. What I did was elements, and it's time to celebrate. Elements in the search bar, celebration. And so many different things come up. Graphics, photos. You could do whatever you want to celebrate. Maybe you want some sparkles, or maybe you want something to, again, we can make this shorter here to hang over the side, and we know how to make stuff adjust to make it smaller. And I would like to make that turn as well, even if it doesn't turn. Well, here's a turn button. There we go. We could make it turn that way and move it and have it hanging up, whatever you would like to do. Elements, maybe you like to do a happy dance. So I do like videos. So elements, videos, and I'll do happy dance. Search for however you want to finish off your video. Maybe you want a chicken. If I hit the 3 dots, this tells me what it is. A rooster, excuse me. Happy rooster dancing. Maybe you would like a heart dancing on yours. Maybe you want people dancing. Were there any other people? Were there any other things? They just have a lot of different videos here that you can add, whether it's people, but I'll just go back to the rooster. So you could have a rooster dancing. And again, I'm going to make it a little bit smaller here. Put that in the corner. You could do fireworks, whatever you please. It's time to celebrate. It's time to celebrate. Press play on that. And then the last thing is, again, some music. How about some music? So I want to go to elements. I want to back out of like videos. I want to have it blank. And then when I go down, I can get it to audio. That's why I want to get it to audio. If something happens and you still had happy dance, and you press the X there, if you just typed in laid back or whatever type of music, you can always click on audio here. You can always click on audio that way. But I want to do laid back, LAID. I want to do laid back. So the way to preview is you click it on the left side and that lets you preview what it sounds like. And there's one that I'm looking for. It's like a laid back J. So let's see if you might just scroll down to find the one that you like. I like this one. And so one thing to remember, you always want your cursor at the beginning. You want your cursor at the beginning. And then you actually click on the right side and then that adds it. Make sure you check your video. Make sure you watch your video through to make sure that you actually answered it before you do the music. Make sure your problem is correct and then press share. It's a lot of different things you can do. You can copy the link and send to your teacher, view only, download. It should be a send to teacher button and submit your problem.
I know you are a creative, innovative teacher who wants to revolutionize learning for your students. Book a free 30-minute call with me and let's virtually create a video for your classroom assignment together. Click the link in the description to schedule your call. I can't wait to chat with you.